Hi everyone. Excuse you. Hi everyone. My name is Kayla. Welcome to my channel. This is the story of my positive birth with my second baby. I'm gonna go back to when I was about 20 weeks pregnant and tell you all the way until the birth. Just so you know, this has a lot of TMI in it, so if you don't want to hear that stuff, then I would just leave. Honestly, I would just head out. So, I have all my notes written down on this envelope. So if you see me looking at it, that's why. If you just want to see the birth story, then go to this. Right there. Okay, so I gave birth to my second baby boy, Xander. He's trying to look at the TV. I had him when I was 37 weeks pregnant. I actually had him on my birthday, which is crazy. My 30th birthday. What are the odds? Don't know. But it all basically started when I was around 20 weeks pregnant. We went in for the anatomy scan, and when we first left, they told us that everything was fine. But I got a call from my doctor later that day, and he said that the baby's kidney was a little bit enlarged. So of course, I freaked out, looked everything up. Yeah, right. Looked everything up, and I was terrified. So they scheduled another ultrasound for 4 weeks later. So when I was 24 weeks, I went in for that ultrasound, and then they said, oh, baby's kidney is normal now, but baby is small. There's that. I was happy that his kidneys were fine, but now there was another problem of him being small. And with my first son, he was also small, so I had to be induced at 37 weeks with him also. So I really didn't want to be induced with my second baby because I wanted to know what it was like to be home and have your water break and rush to the hospital. I wanted that. But I didn't get that chance, which is okay. Anyway, to my notes. 24 weeks, they told me baby is small. He's in the 13th percentile. So they were like, you know, just keep doing what you're doing. Like, they didn't want me to eat anymore or whatever. They didn't really know what it was. They wanted me to schedule weekly NSTs and BPPs. So I'm putting that up on the screen because I don't know what that specifically means right now. So after we had all that stuff scheduled, then I went in. I think I was going in 3 times a week. I had 2 NSDs a week and then 1 BPP a week. And he passed all of the BPPs except for 1. He wouldn't show them the practice breathing, and I was so upset. I was so upset. I wanted a perfect score. Didn't happen, but it's okay. But anyway, on those NSTs and BPPs, he was doing fine. A few of the NSTs, I had to get him, like I had to drink apple juice and eat crackers and stuff to get him to move because he was always chilling for them. Like, he did not want to move. Oh. So I believe it was around when I was 30 weeks pregnant. I went in for another test and they told me that he was normal. He was still on the smaller side, but I didn't have to come in for those NSTs or BPPs. So I was so happy. So we canceled a bunch of those appointments and I was just scheduled to come in for like my regular appointments. But I believe it was, yeah, between 34 and 35 weeks, I was showing signs of cholestasis. And I hope I'm saying that right. But I had this with my first son, so I knew about, you know, what was going on. And this is the condition where you get like itchy palms, itchy feet, and you know, you're not comfy. But my feet were itching like crazy. I couldn't really sleep. So I just called them to get a blood test done. And my levels were not too high, so they weren't too worried, but they were monitoring me because I had it again. And then at, I think it was 35 weeks, I took a nap one day and woke up with like intense chest pain. I couldn't breathe. I was sweating. I felt like I was gonna throw up from the pain. We called the nurses line. I didn't know what to do. They told me that I needed to call 911 and get to the hospital ASAP. But honestly, by this time, my pain had been going down. Like, it wasn't too bad. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna have grandma watch the boys, and I'm just gonna go to the hospital. We're just gonna drive. It's gonna be fine. So we go to the hospital. They do all these tests on me. I had to get a CAT scan done, and they basically came to the conclusion that I just had heartburn. So yeah, all of that was for heartburn. But of course, Google said that it was a heart attack. But it wasn't. So I was fine. I was good. It was great. Anyway, so then I go in for an appointment for my 36 weeks. And they wanted to do, I believe they wanted to do an ultrasound for me then. But they ended up seeing that he was small again, and he was in the 8th percentile. And I believe anything under the 10th percentile is when they are nervous, you know, that something's not working right. And they didn't know if it was like my placenta wasn't giving him the nutrients that he needed or what. So we weren't sure. Since I was 36 weeks and I had cholestasis also, they wanted to take him at 37 weeks. And I was, you know, of course nervous. Of course, if they're like, you know, we're gonna take your baby in a week, just prepare. I was freaking out. But thankfully I had already had this done to me, so it wasn't that scary this time around. So ironically, at my 36-week appointment, my doctor asked, she said, do you have any days that you want to be induced next week? And I said, you know, I don't care, but Wednesday is my birthday. It's like, but I don't care. Whatever works out, you know, it's not in my control. I didn't want it to be in my control. So I went home that night, and then she ended up messaging me on like my chart, and she said that the induction was scheduled for my birthday at 8 a.m. So it's like, oh my gosh, well, this is gonna be a fun 30th birthday, right? Just in labor all day long. Fun. But also, I didn't know. I was like, should I be happy that that I could potentially have a kid on my birthday, or should I not want that? You know, I wanted a short labor, but I also was like, do I want him to have my birthday? But you know what? It's fine. It is what it is. So basically, on that Wednesday, we got up. We went to the hospital at 8 in the morning. Actually, sorry, we got McDonald's first, and then we went to the hospital at 8 in the morning. And then I get there and I meet the nurse, and she tells me it's also her birthday. Like, what are the odds? So we're getting all situated. She's asking me all the questions, and then a doctor comes in and she tells me that her birthday is tomorrow, the next day. So the nurse and the doctor were having a competition on what day he was gonna be born. So it was just funny to me. So anyway, when I first got in, they got me hooked up to everything, and it was like, I think around 10 a.m. they got me hooked up to everything. I had not started labor at all. So I was starting from like a 0. I don't know all the terminology, but nothing had started. They put, I don't know what it's called, maybe like Cervidil or something. I don't know. I'll look it up and I'll put it here. So they put that behind my cervix to loosen my cervix. And when they did that, the contractions started. They started really slow and easy. I was up walking around my room. We had one of those balls. I was bouncing on one of those balls. I was doing I was stepping because I wanted my contractions to I was trying to push my labor, honestly. I'm like, well, let's do this. I don't want to sit around. Let's get it done. So I was moving as much as I possibly could. So I was still connected to like the system, so I could see what my contractions were doing. I think I had like a Bluetooth monitor on my belly, so I could see my contractions on the board. And at first they were great. They were like pretty consistent, and then they started slowing down, and I was getting a little sad. So of course I asked my nurse, and she said that, you know, sometimes that's normal, but I didn't want to hear that. So, you know, I just did my best to ignore it and, you know, just push through. Let's get this labor going. It was kind of a mind game. I had to be like, nobody, we're doing this now. It's going. I believe that medicine only lasted for 4 hours. No, 4 hours? I don't know. It has a certain amount of time that it lasts. And then they had to decide if they were gonna do another dose of that medicine just to see how dilated I was and if it was working, or if they were gonna do like Pitocin or something else. So at 2 o'clock they checked, and I was 3 centimeters dilated. So happy. So at 2:30, the doctor came in, checked me, and I was 4 centimeters dilated. Yes. So they were happy that I was moving pretty fast, and you know, so was I. She decided to break my water just to push things forward. When she broke my water, I was just a mess. Not only down there, but I was a mess up here. I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually it. Like, I'm about to have a baby. So, which is so crazy to think, you know, like when you actually get to that point in time and you're like about to push, it's like, what is going on? Is this real life? So I just kept contracting, and around 4:40, they came and checked me, and I was 7 centimeters dilated. Yes. It's like, dang, this is happening so fast. So at that point, I was like, you know, I'm probably gonna have this baby today, which is my birthday. So crazy. But contractions started getting pretty bad, and contractions, like, sometimes I definitely handled these better than I did my first baby. With my first baby, it's just kind of like you don't really know what contractions feel like until you have a child. And with my first, I didn't know how long it would last and how much I could handle. So that is what scared me with my first. With my second, I knew everything, and I knew, like, honestly, I think I psyched myself out the first time, because second time I was not scared. Like, I was not as scared, I should say. I was more ready to face it and just do it. But yes, with every contraction, I had to breathe. It was still painful. Let me tell you, it was still painful, but I did it. And I went into this birth not wanting to have an epidural or any medication, and this is just a personal choice, because with my first, I did get the epidural, but it didn't work on me. I have scoliosis, so I believe that that's why. The epidural, it went only to one of my legs, and I could still feel him coming out. I felt the majority of him coming out. So knowing that, I was like, you know what, I can probably do this with no epidural. Just have to get through those contractions. So I was 7 centimeters at 4:40, and then my nurse comes in and she tells me that I'm having back labor. So the baby was just in a weird position. So they had me I had to change my position and like just try to get him to flip around, basically. So we did that for a little bit, and then here's the embarrassing part. I don't know around what time it was. I want to say like 5:30. I could be wrong though. But another doctor came in because I think they were about to switch shifts or something like that, and she was introducing herself to me, and then I could barely talk because I was having like 10-centimeter contraction pain, you know. So I'm like, you know. so then she does something else in the room, and I took a break in between one of my contractions. Actually, no, I think it was during a contraction. I like sat back and I felt like I was pooping, but I couldn't control it. Like, I don't know, have you guys ever been so sick that you just sit on the toilet and like your body is just trying to push everything out of you? I told you it was TMI. I told you. You chose to watch it. Don't get mad at me. So anyway, so my body was just pushing. And then more TMI. I swear I felt something down there between the cheeks, you know? You know what I'm saying? So I tell my nurse, I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I think that I just pooped. And she was like, no, you didn't poop. That's the baby. And I was like, no, that's not the baby. I know what poop feels like. That's poop. And of course everyone's like, no, that's the baby. So my nurse and the other doctor that had just come in to meet me, they're like running around the room setting things up because everything happened so fast. So they're setting things up. I get on my back, they take off my gown and, you know, get me ready to have baby on my chest. And during all of this, I am still pushing. I can't control it. My body is just trying to get him out. And it hurt because, again, I didn't have any medication or anything. And originally going into it, I wanted to have like that laughing gas, but everything happened so fast, I really didn't even have time to ask for it. And I wasn't about to ask for it when I couldn't even focus and my body's just pushing. So my nurse, I'm gonna see if I can put a clip in here, but my nurse was like, let's wait for our team. And I'm like, I can't stop pushing. So anyway, the doctor comes in, we do a few pushes. Some of the pushes she tells me, don't push so hard, but again, I am not controlling my pushes, not to my knowledge at least. I can try and shove him back in, but like, don't know. They used so much lube down there, it was crazy. All I could hear was more lube. So anyway, pouring the lube down there. I'm uncontrollably pushing during contractions. Yeah, he popped out. I screamed really loud, and bam, he was here. He was born at 6:01 on my birthday. So yeah, we also didn't know if he was a boy or a girl. So that was exciting. That was very exciting to find out that he was a boy. Yes. But I love him to pieces. Oh man. And he is now asleep. Snoring.
Look at you. You did it. You did it. Yeah. You know it feels better when you push into that.
Yeah, I know it.
Okay. Let us get our team here. Yep.
Yeah, it's baby's
No,
head.
it's baby's head.
So close.
Breathe. Let us get our team here. You can do it. Thank you.
I didn't realize it was your birthday today.
Birthday.
We're gonna have another birthday party.
You getting another one already? Okay. Open those knees up and pull them way back. Let's pull her knees back. Pull your Good.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay,
keep going.
okay. Slow down your breathing. Little pushes. Slow down your breathing. Slow down your breathing.
It hurts so bad. He's here. He's here. Baby's here. Nuchal times 1. Ready? There.
You did it. Now, listen, do you?
But thank you guys for watching my birth video. If you would like to see the birth video of my first son and the pregnancy story of my first son, let me know in the comments. I can do that for you. Alright, you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I have other videos, but don't watch them. They're weird. I'm not gonna lie. Just family stuff. But yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.